Up next is the tip of the week. This is a feature where we show you a trick or two on how to use some certain feature on your phone or some other feature in a given app. And now for this week's episode, here's your tip of the week. And now, to close this week's episode, let's turn on to our tip of the week. And our friend Joe Hodge demonstrates that sharing feature found in Gemini Live.
All right, so I'm going to do a quick recording here of the new feature using Gemini where you can share your screen and actually have a live, real-time conversation about anything on your screen with Gemini. So this is useful for me in a few different apps. I've used it in the weather app to look at the weather map and just ask where the closest precipitation is to me. That is actually pretty cool. And then I've used it for my rugby league app to watch rugby league games from Australia. The sad part, and what I've brought to the group and hopefully to other entities that will help, fight the fight for us, is sadly in the mobile app space, these app developers like ESPN, Spectrum, Max, Paramount, etc., are basically blocking us from using either screenshots or Gemini or these screen recording apps to get information from their app. So the sad part is that I actually can't do what I want to do on the mobile side because these app developers kind of have too much power, in my opinion, and sort of block us out. And I understand why they do it from a sighted perspective. I get that people would possibly share content or they're just trying to protect their investments, but at the same time, me as the blind user who has access to this kind of stuff for the first time, it really is robbing us the ability to participate in the same realm as our sighted counterparts. And I think that's a sad thing at this moment. If I have a Windows computer or a Mac, I'm not blocked out by the same problem because they don't have as much power over that browser or add-ons as they do in this case with Android and iOS. Because this is a problem on both platforms. This is not just a Google problem or a Android versus iOS thing. This is actually a mobile versus desktop thing. And my hope is that we can have a conversation with these developers because they can detect if TalkBack is on when the app starts or a screen reader is on. And, that would solve this problem. But regardless, the feature is still cool, and I'm glad and honored to be able to show it to you. But I wanted to share those sort of caveats from the top. So how we use this is we hold down the power button. So I'm on the home screen. I'm just going to hold down the power button, and you're going to see two things that will come up here.
List. Share screen with Live. Add attachment.
So those are the two things you see. So share screen with Live is basically how you start this. It'll basically, it's going to prompt us to share our screen with Google, and then we will be going. The add attachment is kind of like what we've always had in a sense. So, or had for quite some time now. You could basically just add a picture of something or a document to your Gemini request. So just to forewarn you, I went back to my home screen after doing that because when you hold down your power button and you're there, theoretically it's going to start listening to you after TalkBack stops talking. So it's a bit annoying if you are, let's just say, trying to open Facebook, because now you're going to hear those messages being spoken. So you're going to hear this.
List. Share screen with Live.
So as TalkBack is talking there, I can't just say open Facebook like someone who can see, right? So you're actually sort of being penalized in a way if you're not using these things from Gemini, because if you're using something else, you have to wait for TalkBack to shut up or mute TalkBack before you do that command. So, all right. So here we go.
List. Share screen with live.
I'm going to double tap that.
Drop down list. Share
So here's a drop down list. We have a drop down where I can and share my entire screen is already checked, so I'm just going to move past this. But in there, you could also share just an app if you like.
When you're sharing your entire screen, anything on your screen is visible to Google. Cancel.
All right,
Share
so
screen.
we know this,
Button.
so I'm going to go ahead and start this. Can you tell me my cellular signal?
Looking at your screen, you've got a solid 5G signal. Anything else I can help you with?
How many bars do I have?
Okay, I see you have full bars. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Can you describe my home screen?
Okay, I see your home screen has a bunch of app icons. There's a Google search bar at the bottom, and the time is displayed in the top left corner. Anything specific you'd like to know of this about it?
Watch NRL.
Can you tell me about the Watch NRL logo?
The Watch NRL logo has a green background with a white outline of a rugby player in the center. The text, Watch NRL, is below the player in white bold letters. What else can I answer for you?
Collapsed. Silent. Collapsed. Collapsed. 4 new mess. Expand. Button. Collapsed. Live with jump. Expand. Hang up. Expand.
I'm going to hang up for a second. I'm going to go back. I'm going to
Watch NRL.
tap on my Watch NRL here to bring up some video.
Progress bar.
But
Watch NRL.
could she not be any more wanting to end that conversation? Like, I wish Google would stop that. Like, is there anything else? Could you get out of there? It's like my mom when I would ask her to read me something. Like, oh, I'm so bothered by you doing this. You know.
Navigate up.
Anyway,
Cast. Selected. Upcoming match.
so I'm gonna choose match replay here.
Doll. NRL. Round
So this is the game from this morning. So I'm gonna click on that,
button.
and I'm gonna
Cast. Button. Doll. Download. Doll. Button.
click on that.
Doll. NRL. Download. Off. Match scores off. Button. DOL versus Brit.
So now I'm gonna turn.
Show these games. The Battle of Brisbane, game number 1 for 2025. Round 4 on a Friday night. Christian Wolf still looking for that elusive.
So we got the rugby league started now. So I'm gonna turn Gemini Live back on, and we're gonna share this video here.
3 rounds. Kenny
List.
Roberts will
Share
play
screen with
Brisbane on
ask a,
Monday.
share screen. Share your screen with Google. When you cancel. Share.
2 impressive wins on the board. Katoni
Can you describe what's in the video?
That's at the expense of the Mariner. Despite losing
It looks like you're watching the Dolphins versus Brisbane Broncos NRL game from March 28th, 2025. Are you looking for the final score? Or is there anything else I can help you with?
the Battle of Brisbane.
Can you tell me who has the ball?
Fifth occasion. It is the Dolphins who get things going.
It's hard to tell from this angle. The video shows the scoreboard with DOL 0-0 BRI at the top, so neither team has scored yet.
First Battle of Brisbane. 3-1. Broncos lead the count.
So this game just kicked off, so I'm gonna let it go for a second, and then I'll ask another question.
Ball up by Gafusi. Not many meters here. Brisbane already.
Can you tell me who has the ball now?
The Dolphins pinned inside their 20.
It looks like the Dolphins have the ball right now.
Here's a mismatch.
Can you tell me what player has the ball?
It's a little hard to see in the video, but it looks like Dolphins.
Moving to the second row this year. Boy, they're going to need a good kick here, the Dolphins. Coachella under pressure. Pass. Ball over it.
Can you tell me who has the ball?
No problem on the challenge. Walsh a little room to move. Walsh. Gets around Farnworth and almost a half.
It's a bit hard to tell from the video, but it looks like Broncos player Reece Walsh has the ball right now.
Can you tell me more about Reece Walsh?
Placing Dean Mariner in that right centre position.
Reece Walsh is a really exciting player. He's a fullback for the Brisbane Broncos in the NRL. He's known for being super fast and agile, which makes him a threat every time he gets the ball. Did you want to know anything else about him?
No.
Three of them there to meet him. Fusi down low. Marshall King there.
Can you tell me about Marshall King?
Finifuiaki. Unturning it in. Gajewski makes it to the 20. One play left here. Walsh zipping on the left side. He wants it. Here's the kick for Hart. It's heavy. It's heavy. It's too
Icon.
big.
Left.
And a let off for the Dolphins. So we're off and running here.
All right. So Reece Reese Walsh is known for his speed.
No, can you tell me about Marshall King?
Unfortunately, the wet weather continues here in southeast Queensland for the Battle of Brisbane. It is raining.
Marshall King is a hooker for the Dolphins. He's known for his speed and creativity around the ruck, which makes him a key part of their attack. He's been playing really well lately.
Can you tell me about the weather from the game?
Daniel Saifidi was the only Dolphins forward to make more than 100.
It looks pretty wet. The commentators mentioned it's been raining all week in southeast Queensland, and it's still coming down pretty heavily. It's definitely making for a tough, slippery game.
That's a great tackle from Shimasaki. That was desperately needed as the shift comes in. Beautiful ball, Nicarima. Gilbert down the middle. Oh, he had Farnworth on his outside. The
Can you tell me what yard line they're on?
as Gilbert takes the tackle. But that's only tackle number 3.
Sure, Marshall King is a hooker for the Dolphins. He's known for his
Can you tell me
speed and
where the ball is
creativity
on the
around
field?
ruck.
Here from the Broncos. Saifidi, your settler. Right side
It's
here
hard
is
to tell
set.
exactly from the video, but it looks like the ball is around the middle of the field.
Kantor under pressure. Hunt all over him, but he can't finish the tackle. Kantor straightening.
Can you tell me how much time has gone?
Tackle lefty. The Hammond working on the left. That's where it goes. Nicarima. Oh, the pass to Herbie. And Staggs does just enough, but he needs some help. Big help from Reese Walsh. And
Can you tell me how much time is left in the half?
Fantastic set, Dolphins, but no results.
Great attacking set to start this game from the Dolphins. Arrow straight, powerful running. Gilbert and Farnworth on that
Hello.
left-hand side opened up the Broncos to start.
Oh, strong shot on
There's 36 minutes and 32 seconds left in the first half.
Off. Characters.
Hendrickson.
So, as you could tell there, I don't want to spend tons of time.
Live with Gemini. Not checked. Checked. Turn off screen.
Okay, I've turned the I've translate feature back on. You can use it to see captions of what I'm saying.
Not many meters here.
There we go.
Home.
Good grief.
Recent app. Watch NR. Google Gem. Screenshot. Select.
So, as you can tell there,
Screen
it
off.
is really good.
21
I mean, there are flaws, obviously. So I've had it like just randomly go off about something. I've had it randomly hallucinate. But overall, this is like better than we've ever had, in my opinion. And it's really a great feature. I've been using Copilot on Windows to sort of do the same thing. It was my dream. I was actually talking to John, and I thought like we would be 6 months from seeing it, maybe to a year on mobile, and then basically Android rolled it out. Gemini rolled it out last week. With Google. So it's amazing to me that we've got it on mobile. With this new rollout, you also can use the stuff from Astro to use your camera. So I'm going to show you that real quick, just briefly. So if I go into Gemini,
Chrome. Clock.
let
Contact.
me get down there. Sorry.
Google TV.
There we go.
Google One. Google. Gmail has Gemini. Gemini.
And then if I
Not
click
many.
on
Page. Microphone. Open Gemini Live.
Live,
Page. Not checked. Not checked. Turn on screen sharing. Not checked. Turn on video streaming. Checked. Not checked. Pause the conversation. Button.
can you tell me what you see in my office here? Hey Gemini, are you there?
It looks like a pretty standard office setup. I see a desk with a laptop, a multi-line telephone, and what looks like a stand for papers or a tablet. The walls are painted a light green, and there's an office chair tucked under the desk. Anything else I can help you notice?
Can you tell me more about this keyboard that I'm looking at right now?
From what I can see, it looks like a Braille keyboard with a Perkins-style layout. Is there anything specific you'd like to know about it?
Do you know the brand?
I can't quite make out the brand name from here. Could you get a little closer? Or maybe tell me what's written on it.
It says Mantis. Can you now look at it again?
Okay, I see it now. It's a Mantis Q40. That's a refreshable 40-cell Braille display that connects via USB or Bluetooth. It can be used with computers or mobile devices. Do you have any other questions about it?
So is it a QWERTY keyboard or a Braille keyboard?
It's both. The top part has a standard QWERTY keyboard, and the bottom part has a refreshable Braille display.
Awesome. And then can you tell me what this bottle of soda is?
That's a bottle of Mountain Dew. It's got that bright green color and the Mountain Dew logo on the label. Anything else you'd like me to identify?
Close. Signed in as Joe.
So there we go.
Home. Home.
So that is a little bit about what you can do now with the new Gemini application. And I would urge all of you to play around with it because I think it's game changing. And, imagine, what we see a lot with this space is, things are moving more to wearables. And I mean, I think this will change the game when it gets to glasses, if it's possible. It does make the phone a little hot, just doing especially the camera feature. My phone is heated up pretty significantly, but still fine. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this demonstration.
Thank you so much, Joe. I appreciate that demonstration. And guys, we encourage you to send us your demos. So if you have time, you want to demonstrate an app or want to do a little tip of the week, feel free to do so and send it to us at our contact us email address. That's contactus@blindandroidusers.com, or you could just contact us on Telegram if you're in our group and let us know that you have such a demo. So we encourage all listeners to be participating in doing things of this nature.
I found this demo pretty interesting. So I'm obviously friends with Joe, and me and him share opinions on a lot of things. So I was happy that he was complaining about the screen blocking issue, because I would have done the same thing. But yeah, so a couple things I wanted to point out is, and he did in the demo, so maybe I don't have to, but I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you need, for both of these features, sharing your screen and sharing your camera, at this point, you need Gemini Advanced, or whatever they're calling it now, the paid version. Is that right, Warren?
I would like to believe so, but I don't know, because I already...
These things are always changing, right? And we have it. So right now I have the free 6 months that came with my S25. So I don't know. I think you have to be a premium user.
No, stop thinking. Actually, it's right. So you can be confident about this. You should be an advanced user.
Yeah, what we don't know is how long this is going to be the case, because they told us Gemini Live was an advanced thing, right? And then
it came to
they let everybody have it eventually. So I'm hoping by the time my 6 months expires, they'll let this be just a regular feature, because I don't, as much as I like this, I don't think it's something I would pay for, especially not $20 a month. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Too much.
But yeah, something I found interesting was how good it was. He was at hearing him, because for the demo he didn't use his phone in the demo how he normally would use his phone. He would normally have like headphones connected or something, right? But so for demonstration purposes, he had the actual sound playing out of the speaker, and I was like impressed with how well it was actually hearing him. I think some of the delays in its responding, sometimes it would take a long time to respond. I think some of that might have been related to like it just trying to figure out who was talking. But just the fact that it knew him from the commentators was kind of impressive to me. Like it knew when he was asking a question, and it would answer the question. And it was also listening to the commentators at the same time, because when he asked about the weather, she said the commentators mentioned that it was raining earlier on in the broadcast. It's like, so she's actually paying attention to what the audio is playing on the phone and listening to him at the same time. So I found the demo pretty impressive. Whether or not it's something that you want to rely on, as with all AI at this point, you may not want to trust it with your life.
I'm there with you, John, and say whatever one wants to say about Gemini. I found it really impressive that it was actually able to hear him, even that noise was going on. It's going to be hard to really distinguish who is talking, and so I came to the same conclusion that you came to, John, that the delay of responding to what his query was owed to the fact that is trying to figure out which one to respond to. So it did a very good, decent job.
Because
it
for
was
me,
impressive.
the response time is always a lot faster than that for me. So I think that is what was going on there in the demo. I tried the camera feature on my oven earlier, and it was actually working really good. It would tell me it described the buttons to me, and then I would put like my oven. I can actually feel where the buttons are, which is kind of rare on an appliance, right? But I can't tell what they're labeled. But so I'd put my finger on a button. I'd say, "What button is my finger on?" And she'd say, "Oh, that's on the clear button." And then I'd move it to another one, and I'd say, "What about now?"
Nice.
She'd say, "That's the big button." So and I was impressed because it was actually remembering the buttons, because it can't see what the button is with my finger on it, right?
Exactly.
It was actually remembering.
It's using the
video it had seen already.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I was like, this is actually really nice.
Hey,
now,
I love that. You've given me an idea, John.
Like I said, I don't know if it was telling me correctly or not, but if it was answering me correctly, then that was very impressive.
We talk about my induction stove, so I'm going to be playing with that as soon as we're done with this recording, because now it gives me an idea now of how to go about using that thing, because I know where the buttons are now, and I can operate it on my own. But I'm really going to try to play with it and see what it says. That's really good.
Yeah,
this is something we've been looking for.
Yeah.
Thank you. Beautiful.
Yeah, but John, since you were talking about the screen sharing blocking feature, which also was discussed by Joseph. Actually, first let me say that the demo was great. I really liked it, and I was impressed by listening to it. It's a very nice one. Thank you, Joseph. And regarding this, I don't know. Yeah, it's convenient to be able to share the screen and to have any restrictions lifted, but well, it's at the end of the day not an accessibility feature. So I don't know why we should ask. I'm talking here practically. Why should we ask the app developers to remove such restrictions? Okay, we are blind and we are going to use this with Gemini, but this would mean that also other people will be able to use the screen sharing thing with Gemini. So I don't know. I don't see it as really practical, and maybe with TalkBack things could be different, but
the problem is that it's not different with TalkBack, and I don't know if it's the app developers we should be asking. I think it's too much to ask. I don't think they're going to listen to, but I think we should be asking Google to disable this feature for accessibility purposes, because it's not just a Gemini thing. Even if you're using TalkBack, say I'm watching something in Paramount Plus and I just put the video player in focus and I do the gesture to just have a description, right? TalkBack tells me screen capture not available. It says, it'll either say screen capture not available, or it will think it's working, and then it will say, this is nothing but a black rectangle with nothing in the image. So the fact that I don't think TalkBack should have to depend, and Gemini for that matter, should have to depend on whether an app allows screen recording or screen captures. I think there should be a workaround built into Android for accessibility reasons in these situations.
Yeah,
well, I think I kind of agree with Karine, though, because it's not just with us, but I'm looking at the banking apps, for example. You cannot take a screenshot of your banking app. So I think it's something that has to do with security. And my thinking is that if Google allows this, some nefarious guys will take advantage of that and find a hole in a security, and I can see where they're coming from. But if there's a way to where if it detects that one is using a screen reader, for example, and then opens that up for you, then I'm fine with that. But so if you're sighted, you could grab another device and take a picture of it. And the same thing, if you're blind, you can also grab another phone and take a picture of that screen as well. So I don't know. I'm not necessarily seeing this as something to worry about, because this is a universal thing and it's not just about us.
Yeah, let me clarify something. Actually, what I was trying to say that with Gemini, I was trying to differentiate between Gemini and TalkBack and like, so okay, if you are asking Google, for example, to act and to let Gemini be able to share the screen because you are, as a blind person, able, or you are going to take advantage of Gemini, I don't think that this makes sense. But for TalkBack, yeah, it does make sense. I'm also leaning to what Ron is saying regarding security, but when we are talking about TalkBack, it's the system app, actually. So because it's a system app, I think it will be able to have this privilege. If Google wants to take this route, I'm not sure that Google is willing to do so, but I think it's able to do that. But, well, here comes a question. I haven't tried, but I could try if you haven't tried already. So if you try screen recording with, for example, the default Samsung screen recorder, is it going to work? It's not actually going to help you to share directly or to have a live sharing or to have a live description. But what I'm trying to know, because the Samsung screen recorder, for example, is a system app. So if it's able to remove this limitation, or if it's able to work without this limitation, this could be a positive sign that also Google could work to help in making TalkBack, for example, work and to take a screenshot, even if the app itself doesn't allow for screenshot taking. So this is only with TalkBack. I mean, Google is not going to give this privilege to Gemini, but I'm talking about TalkBack as a screen reader. So did you try the Samsung screen recorder with these apps that don't allow for screen sharing and screenshot capturing?
No, I didn't. Should I? So I'm going to guess what I think will happen is it will just have a blank screen. Like, it will just be a black screen during that part when you're recording. Like, it won't actually record the video on the screen.
I would like to think that it would be a blank screen as well. And here's why. Karen, you mentioned the fact that TalkBack is a system app. Well, the screenshot capability is also a system, app, system function, but it will not capture a screenshot of, one of those sensitive apps. And so I'm thinking the same thing. I try to record, I don't remember what it was, with an AZ recorder, and all it did was give me a blank screen as well. And so I think this has to do with security.
No. Third-party screen readers won't be able to do that. It's something that you shouldn't discuss, actually, or we shouldn't have any discussion about it.
I'll just try it real quick so we know. Let's see.
So we're right here. So John, you go ahead and try it, live on here, and maybe go to one of our YouTube clips or something, so that we don't get into somebody's hot water. I don't know. And we could just try it with it. But something tells me it may not work.
Yeah, but you can take screenshots with
I'm
YouTube.
just going to do it. It's going to be a mess, but I just want to find out.
Screen recorder. Start recording with screen recorder. Screen recorder will have record sound. Not selected. None. Radio. Not selected. Media. Selected. Media and mic. Off. Show taps and touches. Cancel button. Start recording button. Nova launcher. Telegram.
Okay, so we're recording. I'm going to go.
Password manager. Chrome.
To
Folder. Streaming for more items. Disney Plus. Hulu. Max. Netflix. Max. Netflix. Paramount Plus.
I know Paramount gives me problems.
Go to Netflix or Disney.
No, I know Paramount
Plus
is one.
Now streaming. In horizontal pager. Leonardo. Ready to explore. Out of list. Transformers 1. 1 of 10.
Okay.
Selected. Home.
I'm going to play
Movie poster.
Transformers.
Image out of list. Clickable button to watch movie. Paramount Plus. Landscape. Video player. Flight.
Let's go home.
Nova launcher. Paramount Plus featuring commands. Expand. Dismiss.
I'm gonna dismiss that. Let's see.
Quick settings.
All right.
Facebook.
I'm gonna open the
My
recording.
files. My files. Just now. Screen underscore recording. Open with Audio Lab. As screen file. Photos. Video player. Column. Video player. Hide control list. Out of grid. Chrome. Folder. Streaming for more items. Disney Plus. Hulu. Max.
So I
Netflix,
can see my screen enough
Netflix,
to know
Paramount Plus.
if it's showing up or not. I'll
Paramount
just
Plus.
let you know.
No, I know Paramount.
Paramount Plus. Now streaming.
Yeah, you're
Horizontal
getting
media.
to it. It's getting close.
Leonardo. Ready to explore. Out of list. Transformers 1. 1 of 10. Selected. Home.
If this works, I'm gonna be
Edit.
pissed.
Web list. Watch movie. Paramount Plus. Landscape. Video player. Spike.
Yeah, there's nothing on the screen. It's just black.
Through the archives.
I was slightly optimistic.
It records the audio, but
Yeah.
not. Yeah,
Notifications.
it's not gonna do it.
Ashley Dyer. 2:27 p.m. Headed home from McDonald's on
This is
Battlefield.
something I experienced with AZ Recorder. I mean, I could hear the audio,
Susan
but
Ganaway.
the
1
visuals are
p.m.
not there.
So I just tried it and it didn't work. I did a screen recording with the Samsung stock screen recorder and it did record everything, but when I played back the video, the portion where the movie was actually playing, although I heard the sound, there was nothing to it. It was just a black screen with some play controls. Actually, it was just a black screen. The play controls were not part of the video, but yeah, there was nothing there.
Yeah, again, this thing is not going to work. They're all, like I said, someone could take advantage of this and exploit some security thing in there. So, like I said, I personally am not worried about it, and I wouldn't raise hell over this.
I would raise hell over this, but I know Google doesn't care and they're not going to address it. But I think if the operating system can prevent you from doing this, they can also make exceptions in certain. I mean, if it's a security thing, it's one thing, right? But if it's just copyright reasons, like you could let TalkBack see a video, and even Gemini, if if the Google app is technically a system app, you could even make it so that Gemini and TalkBack could both see that, but the screen recorder can't see that. Like they have full control over this. Whether they would spend the time and money to actually make an exception for us is a whole other issue, but it would be possible to allow us access to this, and I hope they decide to at some point, because I mean, I would use it for this, but I guess I won't be anytime soon.
Yeah, but technically, the Gemini was seeing the screen. That's why it was able to say where the ball was, on the field.
No, he specifically chose that rugby app because they don't prevent you from doing screen recordings. Like if he was watching something on Paramount Plus, or if he was watching something on Max, like a sporting event, it would not have worked. As soon as you bring up the video, Gemini Live stops. Like you hear it go whoomp. It ends it. It automatically ends it as soon as you go into something that restricts screen recording.
I got it. So definitely it has to be, the content providers don't want it. And so Google is respecting that. I mean, Google's in a lot of hot water. So I can see, the paranoia.
Yeah, but there could be an exception made. That's all I'm saying. Like, anybody can record anything on an Android phone if they really wanted to. They could root their phone and just completely do away with these restrictions that Google's. So, I mean, like somebody recording copyrighted content on their Android phone is not a problem in my opinion. Like there's so many other ways to do it. And like you'd have to jump through so much hoops to do it. Like there would be a way for Google to say, TalkBack can see this, but a screen recorder can't. And I'm not saying disable the thing altogether if TalkBack is running. They could even say like, the screen recorder still can't see this even while TalkBack is running, but TalkBack can see it. Like I think there would be a way to do that if they really cared to.
Well, but John, if someone could root their phone, what would stop a blind person from rooting their phone if they are so much into this stuff that they really want it? So I just don't think that just because we're blind, we're going to be given special privileges. I just don't buy this one.
Well, we 100% disagree there.
Yeah, we definitely disagree on this one.
Well, you have to buy it for one reason, which is that a sighted person is able to see the screen while the blind person is unable to see the screen. And what the
Thank you.
talkback image description does. I'm
Thank
at
you.
your
Thank
service
you. This
always.
is exactly the point I needed to make. So talkback seeing the screen is just like talkback is our eyes. So app developers aren't going to say, and Android isn't going to say, we're not going to show this on the screen because they could be standing there with the camera recording it. Like that defeats the whole purpose of it. So if talkback is our eyes, or if Gemini is our eyes, let our eyes see it.
Yeah, but Gemini, let's put Gemini aside. I mean, Gemini is for all. So you can't ask Google to let Gemini be able to like work normally when an app blocks taking screenshot or sharing the screen. I mean, this should be only restricted to TalkBack because it's a system screen reader. Although there's the problem of sending the images online, which is also a security risk in a way or another, because actually this image is leaving the device and it's going online. So because most of the phones actually don't have nano descriptions, so so this is also a security risk. But I think they should have a balance here, and they should see, well, what should be considered like more important. Is it the ability of a blind person to let those screenshots described, or the developers of the app or these apps security? So I think there should be something that they should think about. I don't think that Google is going to do anything. They just will relax and do nothing. But yeah, it's really
that we all agree on.
Actually, yeah, but it's disappointing because, I mean, what if YouTube, for example, Google decides to make YouTube block screenshot capturing? What should we do? I mean, I use, for example, image description in YouTube or other. So if this becomes the norm, this would be an issue. Because, for example, WhatsApp recently started having this screenshot blocking for profile pictures, and I used to describe profile pictures using Gemini, TalkBack Gemini descriptions. So if this becomes the norm, then we will be really in a real trouble.
Yeah, it's only going to get worse.